All right. Let's check this out. Considering we have been playing a lot of Arknights Endfield recently, and I'm absolutely loving the game. There'll be more content on the channel talking about Arknights. I'm going to do some videos talking about the combat as well soon, and some of the other elements to the game. Let's see this video from Maxim Gacha, shall we? Arknights Enfield made me love Gacha again. So I can't really come at it from this angle because I've been really enjoying Wuthering Waves anyway, and PGR and Zenless. So it hasn't made me love Gacha again, but it's definitely been very enjoyable for me, and it's different as well. The combat is different. The game is different. I said it before. Combat is more proactive than reactive. But anyway, let's see what he's got to say then, shall we? All right, come on, YouTube.
Like, how can you genuinely not love this game? Hey, what's going on, guys? This is a bit of a weird format video, so let me know if you do like it versus what we normally do. I figured we'd try something different because I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about how good this game has been, at least to me. Because a lot of people have kind of spoken about the negatives, like the gacha being really good or really bad, subject to change. We don't really know for sure. The wording is a little bit weird. Sure, there's a couple combat issues with the dodging and, well, you know, the dodging's really the biggest complaint.
This is what I said initially. I'm like, again, I think I need to make a video specifically talking about it, because, like, I'm like, I get it. The dodging's tight. Like, it's like Dark Souls 2 Monster Hunter tight, you know? Like, the iframes, like, it feels like you have to dodge just after. You get the little flash, and the fact that you only start off with 2 dodges. I've just got to the point where I've got 3 dodges now. It's very punishing. It basically, the game tells you, you ain't here to spam dodges. If you're going to be spamming dodges, you're going to get slapped about, basically. I know there's some people been asking for potential dodge cancels, you know, to cancel your animation and go into a dodge, which I don't know if I think that would be fine, if I'm honest, personally. But I think the game's designed to be like that. It wants you to be proactive in how you use your skill set, whether it's your dodges or your skills, like how it's, you know, it's important not to be spamming your skills either. You need to be using them at the right times, of course, but also when it comes to interrupting enemies, you want to make sure you've got skills on deck when you're fighting these bigger enemies, because if you can't interrupt, you're going to be in trouble as well. And of course, if you've just rocked some dodges and then you're getting a big attack coming, your skills are there to save you, basically. So I definitely do think it's more of a proactive, strategic game in that sense. You have to be a little bit more strategic in how you're using the skills and the tools that the game's giving you. But I wouldn't be averse to having a dodge counter personally, a dodge cancel personally. But again, I feel like it's what they want the game to be. I think maybe they could have alleviated some people's issues with maybe making the window for dodges slightly bigger. But again, I don't know. It feels like that's how the game should be. I suppose we'll have to see more of it, and when we get to more difficult content, to see if it's actually something that's a big problem. But I know that seems to be a main sticking point for a lot of people.
But yeah, there have been very small issues, but they're kind of taking away from the positives of the game, at least in my opinion. Because everything that I've done in this game so far in these past 2 days, around, I would probably assume I have 18 hours playtime, nearly, if not there, maybe close. And we're level 21 on the account as of now. I know a lot of people are speedrunning through it, but I'm kind of taking my time a bit and doing everything live on Twitch, so I don't...
Same here. I've not played it offline at all. I've got to the point now where, unless it's a timed event in a gacha game and I need to get it done in a set time, I've stopped rushing through content, personally, because I'm enjoying games more. I'm enjoying Zenless more because of it. I'm enjoying Wuthering Waves more because of it. This is probably what's going to force me to have to drop PGR at the moment, because of obviously synchronization and 3 patches going into 1, and not wanting to have to force myself through content in a short period of time. I'm enjoying gacha games more at the moment, just taking my time a little bit. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with these games, is the speedrun content right at the start, and then you get left with nothing. Now, there is an argument to say that, you know, some of the content in these games definitely needs to stop being top-loaded right at the start of patches and allow more content to fluidly come throughout the patch. But, you know, it's probably not going to be the case, so I'll just take things a little bit slower now.
Really, you know, leave anyone out or what we're doing in this beta, because I would say it matters to have the transparency in that side of things. So if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, because honestly, this game has made me love Gacha again. Legitimately, I'm not even trying to glaze or anything. Like, just look at this. If you haven't played Death Stranding for longer than 5 seconds, You see this system, this flying fox, this zipline system? I made all this myself, and everything.
I will say, like, the dude's a lot further in than me, because, like, I haven't got any of this stuff, but I haven't even built a zip line yet. I do like the fact that you can use a zip line to get about, but I would like maybe a system in the end game, or something later on, where you could potentially maybe build, like, a mount, a bike, or something to allow you to traverse around a bit quicker without having to use a zip line system. Now, maybe they won't want to do that, because it'll negate the necessity of the building of the zip line systems. I don't find traversal a chore in this game, personally, because obviously I think they've made the smart decision of making it, sections of open world maps, basically, like subsections rather than an entire open world. But I wouldn't be against being able to maybe craft something like that later on in the game. I don't know, what would you guys think about that? Would you like something like that? Maybe some sort of like bike or little moon buggy type thing that's not like rapid, but it's just, a little bit quicker than walking around, maybe. Because obviously the games definitely wants you to go through the crafting with stuff, because there's no double jump, there's no mantle, you're not going to be running up walls, you're not going to be climbing up walls, you got to find a way around in this game, really, or craft the alternative.
That you see in the sky, this is all connections I have done. I am essentially terraforming a world as much as I
do like that, though.
Please.
I do like that. It's quite immersive.
Just completely
it feels like you're building out the frontier, doesn't it? Like,
and if I just
there's already a prototype for a bike, actually. Oh, is there? Oh, would you mean the one you actually ride in the cutscene, or is there actually? Do you mean like Because I went, as soon as I saw that when we were riding that bike, I was like, "Oh, are we going to get to use this at some point in the game?"
Show you the map, like you can see.
And we've saw like there's vehicles around, isn't there? We've seen like monster trucks and everything as well.
With ease, with my zip lines that we have here, the zipline pylons, and they all kind of go around and show you the stretch of where they go from and to. So I know I can kind of get around this direct area because these do follow the power, and ziplines need power. That's pretty obvious, right? But it just goes to show that if you do run out of your daily stamina, which
I suppose as well, like this does kind of encourage you to explore before you can traverse in this easy manner. So you need to have obviously, explored all these areas, built your power lines up, and then you can traverse these different areas faster through your little zipline network. I think it'd depend in certain areas. It would be nice to have a bike, though. I'm not gonna lie, it would be kind of cool to ride around in a bike. But I get this design philosophy. I do.
You can see in the corner here, this system is in every gacha game.
Yo, what's going on, Zintos?
There's a lot of stuff to do when you do run out of the stamina, which a lot of games struggle with. Like you look at your Honkai.
Been playing the beta, and I could really make this one of my main games. Yeah, I said this yesterday myself, man. Like Wuthering Waves is my favorite gacha at the moment, and like Zenless and PGR are like my secondaries. This is definitely, I'm feeling when this game comes out, if it still feels the same and the content's plenty and there's content I want to do, this could be one of my main games as well, dude. I agree.
Star Rails and Genshin Impacts and whether.
Question, is this an always online single player? I'm not too sure, Zara. I think this game could definitely benefit from some co-op. If there's anybody who knows more about it than me, co-op raids and dungeons in this would be absolutely pretty, like, I think that'd be fun, man. I think it'd really work. Four-man co-op, it'd work really well, or four-man matchmaking in this. It'd genuinely feel like you was doing dungeon runs and raids in an MMO then, to me.
Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves has an aspect of where you can find echoes pseudo infinitely, which is a great system to have. Honkai's got nothing post stamina usage in your day, and Genshin is Genshin Impact. We don't really talk about that game. The
survey asked about co-op, so it's possible. I need to look at the survey.
Something I want to mention because I feel like I can play this game all day and all night. And even if it's not related to building out the map and fleshing it out and making it easily traversable, there is something else that everyone has spoken about at this point, which is something that you can see here. It's the base. The base system is the greatest thing this game could possibly have. So I admittedly have a very, very average base as it stands, but it shows the areas of what can potentially come. It's a bit of a smaller base with the tree and everything, and if I do show you that, it sounds like there is a lot here, but it does feel like you get through it pretty quickly, and you do use the critical stuff fairly early game-wise. I haven't hit base ASE 3, which may potentially expand into a different area. Like there's another electric mining rig that is automatic, off power, and is double as efficient as the first mining rig, right? Pretty basic late game upgrading from mid game stuff. And yeah, the combat I haven't felt, at least for the in terms of the tower defense side, it doesn't feel necessary where I'm at. Again,
I hope that becomes very necessary. That little bit we got in that story where we were helping those people who were like hiding in the cave systems, and we had to put the gun turrets down to shoot those bone crushers coming through the pass. That I'm hoping we lean into that sort of stuff. Like that will be really fun to do. That will actually.
2 days in, 10, 15 hours, level 21. I see how you can set it up and how it is very usable, but for me personally, I haven't felt like it would increase my productivity if I did set it up in certain areas. There are places that do reset daily where you can set this stuff up to make it usable and make it viable, but in terms of the beta, and hey, it is a beta, I will say that, it's not really the most required thing you can get away with, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I have seed units. These essentially build medicine, and medicine can be used automatically.
So I've got to none of this.
Food buffs and that kind of thing in this game. If you have a look on my characters, you can see in the bottom here that they have this little icon next to them. You can set this up natively to be used automatically under a clause. So when you hit tactical here in their gear menu.
Yeah, I like this tactical system. This is like a simplified version of Gambits in Final Fantasy 12. You know, like in that, it was the same. You get into combat. You'd be able to switch between the characters, but you'd have your team with you. But you could set them up to be like, you know, aggressive, passive. You could set them to like attack the character that you were attacking, or attack the character that had the most health or the highest damage, or healers to heal when you went below a certain amount of HP, or them to cast specific skills under specific circumstances. And this is kind of like a little simplified version of that, actually. Which I do like that, actually. I do like that.
You click this, you show your options, and within all of these, as you can see, it will restore HP per second for 6 seconds, and when it hits an equip effect, it instantly hits it. There's no going into a menu screen. There's no manual needing to pop it if you are low on HP in the middle of a fight. It's all done in the constraints of when you would use it anyway, which in my opinion is genius. And sure, I'm just kind of pointing out mechanics right now, and I do understand that. But the one thing that really made me think that this game is really something different is when I went to the quarry, when I did the side quest in the quarry. This is for me at least, this was the moment I realized, oh, this game is going to be special. Mainly because look how small you are. You have to climb all of this.
Yeah, I like that about it as well. Like, again, it feels like I'm playing an MMO. I think that's what I really like about this game. It's like I'm playing a single player MMO. That's the vibe it gives me anyway. You know, that's exactly what I felt like so far while I've been playing this. I'm like, like, even when you get to that fight, I forgot his name now. Was it Rodan or Rogan or whatever his name was? The dude with like the pipes on his back who was like trying to pull you in and stuff. That fight felt like an MMO fight as well. Like, it got mechanics like an MMO fight. And I like that, because this is one thing I was hoping that we'd get to a point in Wuthering Waves where we'd start to get mechanics in boss fights potentially. And I was asking for dungeons, and then maybe have some mechanics along the way there where ads get involved and there's stuff like that and it switches up. And I feel like this game's probably going to lean into that, and that makes me happy, to be fair. I like that.
And everything that you see in the area is directly usable. You can get there. It's all traversable. It's a game that, without trying to sound like I am winning a meat riding competition, legitimately feels like one of a kind. It feels more like a game.
Feels very yeah, a lot of people have said that, actually. That I've heard a lot of people comparing it to Xenoblade. I've never played Xenoblade, so I wouldn't be able to make the comparison. But yeah, that's what it feels like to me. Single player MMO, man.
Game that if I paid to play it, this is what I would receive. It doesn't feel like a free-to-play gacha with, you know, the idea of when characters come out, you spend your money then versus not when you get it. And just have a look at this. Like, just scenery-wise, the thing is gorgeous. Everything just feels so interactive, and the characters themselves too. They have permanent idle animations if you sit there for longer than 5 seconds. Everyone has one. You can see in the background you have Aviwana as well, kind of.
The characters are
Arknight as well, not to mention
designed
Sutra's
gorgeously.
there as well, kind of being, well, Sutra.
So I'd say,
if you ever bout of the game.
Just looking at that character now, I forgot the name of the character from Final Fantasy 12 now. It's the, what race are they from? She's the one who's with, I forgot his name now. Is it Val? The pirate dude. He's like the pirate in his chick, the rabbit girl. She kind of reminds me of that character from Final Fantasy 12, actually. I love the environment as well. Like, some parts of this game as well feel grittier than Wuthering Waves, which I quite like that. I think people who are hoping for that sort of aesthetic and vibe from Wuthering Waves might enjoy some of the vibes this game's got.
game, you just run Sutra on GG. That's been the thing in base Arknights, it's going to be a thing in Arknights Endfield. She's ridiculous. And back to when you have 0 stamina gaming, because that's what gacha games kind of struggle with, which I think this game does perfectly, which reinvigorated my love for it, is this outpost mechanic. So as you can see here, these are essentially your daily expeditions. So in Honkai Star Rail, you have the expedition commission system where you put them away for 20 hours and they come back. And in Genshin, I believe they're called excursions. And in Wu, I don't actually know about Wu, so I don't know if I think it would be in the game. I just don't know what it's called. But as you can see here, I need to deploy these, and they need 10 every minute. I have a yield of 15 because my factory is up there. It is doing well. And in return, every minute, I get 10 prosperities and 11 convention certificates. And as you can see right now, I have 12k. I've been farming this for a while. We haven't got too far, but I've had this one min-maxed to be kind of self-sufficient since I unlocked it.
So I haven't got to this part, yeah.
Pretty much what we needed, right? And there is an exchange where you can actually use these, and every 3 days it seems to refresh, or maybe it's even every 1 week. God, this light mode is insane. I hate these loading screens. But when you're in the base, when you're in the space station, you can go find someone to end up using these another level of currency.
That's one thing as well. I noticed the way your characters just wander around the spaceship, or the station, whatever it is. That's fucking dope, man. I really like that. You know, having your team just wandering around with you as well, it's nice. I really do like that about it, rather than it just being the on-field character and you switch to the character. Now, of course, you can still switch to the characters, but just having them roam around with you and roll with you on your little adventure, like your little band of adventurers, it's a nice touch.
Overworld, Leviathan, and Perlica,
How is
insane.
this place treating you, Endman? Hi there, Endman. Need something done?
I didn't know this was a
Wait
thing.
a moment. Here. This is for you.
Air? Wait, she gives me a gift? Hot, crunchy ribs. I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, look, just like that. That's another thing I noticed that wasn't in the game. And the more I play, the more I realize there are more and more things existing, which just make it feel alive. I haven't felt a gacha game, and I think that's what I am looking for, that has felt this alive in a long time. When Wu came out, I was in love with it. I still think it's a phenomenal game. Renacida is phenomenal. Honkai Star Rail for me personally has fell off in 3.0 from the little amounts I have played. I don't personally like the direction it's going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Star Rail fell off for me, but it was Bellabog, man.
I'm kind of hanging around for the fake collab. But Enfield feels like a one-of-a-kind game that I've never really ever played before. I feel like it's Final Fantasy VII Remake meets Satisfactory, and it has a bit of an RTS kind of twist to it. But with that being said, I think the RTS side of the gameplay isn't really that mind-boggling. It doesn't feel like real-time strategy, it just feels like timing skills. Which isn't bad, I'm not saying that's a complaint, I'm just merely putting it out there, because I want to be as neutral as possible when I am saying what the game is doing right. There are obviously things that they aim to do, which I don't do as good. But back to this individual shop. With daily grinding of essentially just AFKing because I have a self-sustaining shop, I can buy almost anything in here. I could max all these out, 320 to get more XP mats, and you can buy stuff that you would usually use stamina for, ergo, you can use stamina for other things. The main reason I'm talking about stamina here and why this is the twist and the game changer that makes me fall in love with this game every time I log into it every day.
Okay, so
is because
what's the max stamina then? Is it 220 or like 240? I was thinking it maybe gets up to about 2, because I think mine's at like 175 or something now.
Because I have something to play once I've done it. It is going to be around 240 stamina once I have maxed it out, at least from what I understand. And every dungeon's 40 to 50 stam. You can call it sanity. I'm calling it stamina because it's neutral across all gacha games. And then it's gone, right? So you get about 5 minutes of gameplay before it goes away. But with the systems they have in place here, and not to mention as well, I am yet to venture it, outside of the regular factory, there is this base, which I am yet to do.
I think it goes up every level or something. I'm on 235. Okay.
Real time and analyze it and potentially make a video out of that as well. I just wanted to say I am in love with the product that they have given us so far. And Hypergriff, I want to give you the props. Okay, the things you have done right, you have done really right. And I have seen content creators kind of dwell and focus on things like the gacha and the scuffed elements of combat. Haven't really seen any bugs, which I find interesting, and as far as I'm concerned, optimization's been really good, but I know mid to lower range PCs that don't fall into my category are suffering a bit more, so I have a bit of rose-tinted glasses looking into the optimization side of things, so I shouldn't comment on it. The game is...
I try not to talk too much about optimization and performance in a lot of games for me, because I'm running on a 13900K and a 4090, so... You know, the only time I'll talk about it, if it runs shit on my rig, I'm like, yeah, there's something fucking wrong here. But like, I try not to comment on it too much because I'm just not getting the overall picture basically for the average rig. You know what I mean? But yeah, the game's ran fine for me. Performance-wise has been fine. But yeah, there's no point me commenting on that and saying, well, this game runs great, because it's like, I ain't getting the typical experience, really.
It's flawless.
That was
We're
on
going
like
to go through at the end of the week and do a
2080 or a 3070 or something, then maybe I would.
To try and make this game as perfect as possible. But my God, they're at a great start. They have had a phenomenal start to this closed beta. And to be honest, with how polished that this beta really is, I do really wonder how close this is to coming out, because they're paying streamers to play it. You've seen Asmongold play it.
Yeah, obviously, I don't know where we're at, like, all story and mechanics and that, but so far, I'll agree with that. Like, the way the game plays and feels at the minute, it feels like it's very close to release, in my opinion. It really does. You know, it just feels like a solid game.
He's been sponsored. Sea-Dog VA has been sponsored.
That was quite the most.
Someone in Discord told me that Emma also got a sponsor. I'm trying to track the sponsorships, because to put it in this many eyes to the
I'll
public,
say Asmongold's had pleasant things to say about it as well. He actually went as far to say he thinks he's better than Wuthering Waves, which I don't know if I'm there yet. But it's definitely a really good game.
You wouldn't do it if it was still a year and a half away now, would you? It's just financially an interesting look into things.
I've heard a lot of people saying August.
Tinfoil hat, make some kind of reasonable explanation as to why they're sponsoring, other than to get it into more eyes of the public. But I feel like it's closer than we may think, and you can feel that when you play it. I wish everyone could really give it a go, but it's a closed beta, and well, if they did that, they may as well just release the game permanently, right? So hold out for the release, guys. This game is special, and I just wanted to give it its time of day.
The whole mechanic in the ship, including all those multi-purpose facility things, are actually directly pulled from the base. Yes, I ain't got to any of that yet. Well, I ain't been directed to it anyway yet. So, yeah, I ain't interactive with anything like that at the moment. Online, it says it will launch 30th of August. Yeah, I've heard some people saying August as well. I like this more than we were, but that's part of my preference, not objective. No, that's obviously you saying you like is straight away letting people know. That's it. That's the problem nowadays. You have to say that. You have to be like, it's not objective. When you say, I like, somebody go, oh, that's just wrong. It's like, oh, okay, cool, bro. I guess I'm gonna like what you like, right? But yeah, like, I was just surprised when I heard Asmon say that he thinks it's for him better than but I suppose it doesn't surprise me really, because like Asmon likes, Asmon's an MMO player. He likes things like Dark Souls. I'm not comparing this to Dark Souls. He likes things like Dragon's Dogma, which I would maybe compare that to something like Dragon's Dogma. Not the same, but in terms of like how the gameplay is with your squad of players, and you having that like kind of almost like a tag system in a sense.
I'm really, sing its praises, because I think it really deserves it. All right, and that's really been the video today. If you do like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Not to mention as well, we're probably going to be live on Twitch by the time you're watching this video. Be sure to go into the description and go to twitch.tv/MaximGacha to check us out and come say hi, right? If you disagree with what I say, let me know live on stream, in the comments, or even dislike the video if you think. We're open to criticism, but
everything you said was wrong, bro.
I think the game's doing well.
No, I'm joking.
And I can't wait to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good video. Do you know what? I'm going to drop a sub to this dude. Maxim Gacha guy, small content creator as well. Doing some Arknights Enfield content. If you want to check him out, go show him some love. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what he said there, to be fair. Again, this hasn't been the game that's made me love Gacha again, because I've been having a lot of fun recently in games like Aether Gazer, Wuthering Waves, PGR, Zenly Zone Zero, a bunch of different Gacha games. So, like, this is just another game that's been added to the roster, which is getting way too packed, to be fair. Like, I'm even struggling to keep up with Zenless, and that's my second game. I'm still on 1.3 at the minute. Like, I'm falling behind. I still haven't done on-course side quests. Like, it's too much. But I'm definitely going to be playing more of this game, because I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty fire.